let's talk about a team I may be too high on. The San Diego, jeez. The Los Angeles Chargers. Jesus, come on. Get your shit together. Los Angeles Chargers, if they just had a home field. Wins at 9.5, juiced heavy to the over. Division plus 190, conference plus 700, Super Bowl plus 1,400, Phillip Rivers MVP plus 2,200. Finished with the best regular season record plus 900. Melvin Gordon, most rushing yards plus 2,000. Joey Bosa, defensive player of the year plus 1,200. I think this team can represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Thomas Davis is a big addition at linebacker, a veteran presence combined with Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram up front, Derwin James at the back is a nasty, nasty defense. You have a very good offense. Phillip Rivers, Melvin Gordon, Mike Watt. And this year, you had Hunter Henry, who was out last year with the ACL. I mean, this is a special Chargers team that I'm very high on. Donnie, are you as high?
I really am. I mean, look, I know it's easy to say in the offseason, and we saw how well of a good season they had last year and then moving forward. But, again, the offseason couldn't have gone any better. You're getting players back. You're making shrewd decisions. You have a really good defensive coordinator already. You have a quarterback that's used to running a complicated offense. You have all the weapons you need at wide receiver. You have a possible Pro Bowl tight end coming back. You have a great run, even though he's coming back off injury, both the running back and the tight end, still comparable. And a guy who I call the offense death by 1,000 cuts because Phillip Rivers, he will throw that slant all game long if you don't defend it. And then when we look at the Kansas City Chiefs and try to equate it to this ball club, what does Kansas City not have that this team does? They're great at every level, Jimmy. You can rush the passer, fast athletic linebackers. You have a good secondary. And again, they top it off. You have a really good defensive coordinator calling it all. And I can't say enough about the way they operated last year going into Baltimore and completely shutting that team down based on just a week and a half of preparation time for that wild card round. It was amazing. Now you're taking the next level this year. The one issue, if there's any issue with the Chargers, and we're always going to bring this up, is home field advantage that they do have. We can't take back time, Jimmy. We can't make schedule changes as it is. But what would have happened in the AFC West if it was the Kansas City Chiefs lost their home game versus the Chargers to go to Mexico as opposed to the Chargers here? That is a massive game. That might be the balance between both of these teams sitting at 10 wins, one getting 11 and one getting 10 wins and moving on, and then going to the playoffs with home field advantage. It's that big of an agreement. Just if they would have stayed in San Diego, they'd have that home field. They never would have went to Mexico in that game, and things could have been a lot different. But beggars can't be choosers in this type of environment. Look, Phillip Rivers is no stranger to going on the road in big games and winning. They can possibly win that game at Kansas City. If it boils down to both these teams, do I think the Chargers a little bit more explosive? Yes, I do. But if I'm asking for one stop in a football game, I want those two mad crashing defensive ends on the Chargers on my side as opposed to what Kansas City has here.
I agree. And I said Mike Williams, the wide receiver Mike Williams. This is a dangerous, dangerous Chargers squad. Whale Capper, am I too high on these Chargers?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't see a weakness on this team. You look at the roster, we'll start on the defensive side. Defense doesn't matter as much in the regular season for sure anyway, but they have an absolutely ruthless pass rush. They have coverage in the secondary that is at the very, very top 5, clearly top 5 coverage unit. And so complete defense top to bottom. They're going to be able to, maybe they may have trouble stopping the run if you have a lead against them late, but I don't know how you're going to get a lead against them late. They have just an absolute unit there. And then on the offensive side of the ball, they have incredible weapons in the passing game. Phillip Rivers has still got, juice in the tank. They have a running back who's dynamic. They have second and third unit players that can step in if there are injuries. You can pretty much count on there going to be injuries because that's just the way that this organization operates. But I think there's on the depth chart, there's really no obvious weakness on this team for today's NFL. I think that prop you mentioned of they have the most wins in the NFL was 9-1. You said I'm looking real hard at that. Because this is one of your more complete teams with depth, and I don't think it's particularly close. And as far as how they match up with the Chiefs, we saw them take a 2-touchdown deficit and turn it into a win in Arrowhead when they needed it. at the end of the year last year. If that's not a sign of a team that has fight and potential in them, then I don't know what is. I think clearly if the Chargers had not been a wild card last year in the playoffs, if they had if they had won their division, if they had a bye, I think that is your Super Bowl rep, and I don't think it's close. I thought they were the victims of having to travel multiple times at the end of the season, including on the road to the Ravens and then turning back around. Again, organizational stupidity may be their Achilles heel here. Flying to Baltimore, flying back to LA before flying to New England to get your butt kicked is a questionable decision right there. But I think the coaching staff showed signs of being aggressive. They were rewarded when they were aggressive. I love when that happens. That's like Philadelphia Eagles kind of blueprint right there, right? Like you get aggressive, you get rewarded, and then that kind of teaches your coaching staff, oh, this is the way we should do it, right? Like, so even though there were weaknesses in the coaching staff in general, I think they have learned, and there's growth there. And so I'm as bullish on the Chargers as I am on the Colts as far as being clear favorites to win the division. Granted, there's much more realistic challenger here in the Chiefs than anyone that I've viewed in the AFC South. But yeah, the LA Chargers have the goods, and home field advantage. While it would be nice as far as giving you a little bit of a warm, fuzzy feeling if you're betting their win total over, I don't think it really comes into play much. Their schedule is very, very favorable in my opinion.
Yeah, so much went wrong for the Chargers last year early in the season. I had them to win the division and the win total over last year, and it was within hours of making the bet that Bosa hurt his foot. We didn't know how long he would be out for. This team just seems like it's answered questions, and the roster is very strong.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.